I'm James Elden.
And I'm Abby Relic.
And this is...
Most Compatible? Question mark.
And here we are. Oh, we're talking Hinge today.
Oh yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one. This is a good app.
You know, I had a hypothesis about this one, and I was wrong. I was wrong because I was like, I started playing with the age range, and so I broadened it. I went 18 to 99.
Nice.
And the thing is that it still kept within like the age range I was playing with, like 30s to 50, I think is what it was. But it was still only 40s. And I was like, all right, maybe this is like a mature, like an adult app that we don't, it doesn't get old. It's just a frame.
I have a theory about this though. The first time you log into any app, that's when you get your best matches, in my experience. So the first round, they're always the best ones.
Well, this is also the app that pairs you up and says most compatible.
Oh yeah, this is where the title of the show came from.
Which I wasn't aware of. I didn't realize that this was, we kind of knew about it. But so I'm like, okay, so I spread it out. I get 18 to 99, and it was like open age. But it still kept it. I'm like, oh, okay, it's
still kept it in your ideal age range.
And so I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And then I even put it, like, I want to see what the other things are. And I put it at 18 to 25. Uh-huh. And all of a sudden, I'm getting 50 to 63-year-olds.
Interesting.
It didn't adjust it. I'm like, wait, what's going on here? I don't
even know what my age range was.
And this is why I think that we really need to go back as the podcast advances and grows, that we need to go back and play with these and see what the patterns and
right
and everything is as far as the habits, as far as all the different age ranges go. Because what I had to check deal breaker.
Right.
This is a deal breaker. And then it finally started going to 18 to 25, which was in itself fascinating.
Yeah.
So, on that note, before we get into everything and get into the details of this episode, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. What's your favorite app? What have you found out about this particular app? And then share this video with a friend. Share this channel with a friend, which we'll get into that in a second. But if you're listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, be sure to leave a 5-star review. Subscribe to the channel. We are fully aware that this channel does not pop up on YouTube. Like you put in most compatible, what winds up happening? It's all stupid.
It's astrology that pops up. Yes. But what was the thing? If you search most compatible show,
I did most compatible channel. We popped up
most
and
compatible
now, but
channel.
It's not now.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll figure that out.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
So point being is, go to our Instagram page, which is most compatible podcast.
Most compatible podcast
on Instagram. You'll find the YouTube link there. Because if you search us on any of the podcast platforms, it will come up. But for whatever reason, if you want the video version format of this show, you're going to have to go to the YouTube or the Instagram page to get the direct link. That's what we've noticed. We're trying to figure it out. We don't want to change the name. Enough of that stuff. Let's get into Hinge.
Hinge, yes. Hinge is purple, so you get a purple check mark.
Yeah, well,
when you're verified
which I did not do. I did turn around and I went back and I did.
I think I did it.
I did verification for
Tinder
after.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted to find what was. Remember we talked about trouble.
Oh yeah, love trouble.
Her
an athlete.
Nice. And she requested. Oh, you're gonna have to be verified.
Oh, she requested.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, fine. Nice. But it's funny because again, as I delved in, trouble. It was more for promotion of her OnlyFans page.
Of course.
Which no, I did not go into OnlyFans, but again, that seems to be what a lot of this is. It's a lot of OnlyFans or Instagram promotion. How can I get followers and stuff like that? And yeah, and that was one of the things as well. She had, follow me on Instagram at this whatever that page was. So
right.
Anyways, we're talking about Hinge today, so let's hinge away.
Okay, so we picked this app because we took a poll, and whoever voted on the poll, it was pretty synonymous. Hinge. I think this is one of the most popular apps that people use. I like swiping, but I understand why they do the X and the heart. So on Hinge, you can't swipe right or swipe left.
I don't think I realized that.
Yeah. You do an X for no and a heart for yes, and you can heart different like pictures, or they have what's called prompts, which is like information about you that you choose.
A lot of fun. There's some good stuff in there.
And I don't know, I guess you do have more control. It's not like you're accidentally going to swipe right or left. You have an X and a heart. So, okay, I can accept that. That's my first analysis.
Yeah. Again, like things that I did notice that you've got, as far as blurred out friends, they blurred their friends out.
I didn't see that very often.
But again, this is the difference, and this is again why we're doing this podcast, because there are differences.
Right.
There's things there's patterns that you see on your side with men. There's patterns that I see on my side with women. So in this regard, blurred out friends, selfies from, or no, not necessarily. Yeah, no, they were from up high selfies.
From up high. Oh yeah.
The one thing that I noticed, you can comment on individual pics without matching. You don't have to match this person. You can go ahead and say, hey, I like that. And here's the thing.
But I think that is a match. Or I think that is a like.
It is. It's a like, but it's not a match. You don't have to match before. In Hinge, you don't have to match before commenting or
talking to them.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and
cool.
This was, I would say this is where I had, in my experience with dating apps, this was one of the first ones I actually had more success with as far as relationships go. And that was somebody I did for a year, was a runner. And she had done, I think, a marathon or half marathon. And that's what, I'm like, oh, what was this marathon from? Or what was this run from? And that's how we got to talking.
Right.
So you can kind of build that relationship. Oh, here's something we have in common. Let's, you can kind of start talking about that based on the pictures.
And plus, they'll match you with people that you're most compatible with.
Imagine that. Oh, well, hang on. Which they think you're most compatible with.
That's what the algorithm thinks, and I would always be like, really? I think I'm most compatible with that guy? Oh, yeah, it's not people I would choose.
Right.
But maybe for other people, it works.
100 plus miles, it's an option to, and you can, and here's where it comes into
the distance.
Here's where it comes into play again. You can, there's the option that's a deal breaker. And so, and then I kept my, I think it was like, I think I kept the age range, like late 40s to 50ish, ethnicity. It was the thing that you can list. Other and open to all options was one of them. Religion, other was listed, open to all. And then we get into subscription options.
Right. They have two tiers. Yeah.
Yes, but, and here's the thing. If you don't get the other profile options unless you subscribe.
Right.
And I don't know if you saw this. So you can't choose height, children, family plans, drugs, smoking, marijuana, drinking, politics, education level.
Right.
Those are only if you subscribe. But it was fun to play around because if you had a height preference, it gave you 3 feet to 7 feet.
I know.
I get it.
Is someone actually 3 feet tall though?
Apologies to any of our listeners who might be on the
But I would say
have height deficiencies.
Oh, no, I would say. Oh yeah, if you're they're called a dwarf.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
No, but don't you say it.
I know.
Don't
I know what to say.
So yeah. So anyway. So yes, which is a and I, no. You got to be careful what you're laughing about.
I know.
Anyways.
We're getting off topic.
Yeah, we are. And that's nothing against our height friends. Anyways, point being, that's one of the things. You have to subscribe if you're going to get any of those other options. There's the Instagram connection. That's one of the things that they have as well.
Right. I think you can hook up Spotify too.
You can as well. That is an option.
Okay. The other thing is there's these standouts. I don't know if you looked at those.
I don't think I did. Now that you mention it, what's a standout?
So there's
I don't
an
know what that is.
option so if you're on the app, if you click on like the star, you get your standouts.
Oh, yes.
And you get one rose per week
Yes.
that you can send to a standout. So standouts are people that basically, it's like people they think you would match with, and also a lot of other people have liked their profiles. So these are like star profiles.
Do guys like roses?
I don't think I've ever sent a rose to a guy
I don't mean like. Well, I mean
on the app either.
I mean in the real world. Have you ever sent a guy flowers?
No. No way.
I'm no.
Have you ever received flowers from a woman?
I don't know, but here's the thing. And if you're listening, and I'm going to tag you in this, Dylan James from high school. It was my junior year, and Dylan James said, I like flowers. I want to receive flowers sometimes.
That's okay.
Yeah, it is. It's wonderful. But Dylan, if you're listening, just so you know, I remember that 30 plus years ago. Never mind, I'm dating myself.
No, but if the dude was like, I like receiving flowers, then maybe I would send them flowers. But I don't need flowers either, by the way. I mean, it's nice, but it doesn't really mean
All right.
much to me.
First of all, guys, if you're listening, do you like receiving flowers? Is that something do you like it? Have you gotten them? But here's the other question that I have for you. Do you buy yourself flowers?
No. I have before to like put on a table, like at Trader Joe's. I'll buy like cheap flowers, but not. I've probably done that twice in my entire life.
Okay, just curious. So here's the one thing that, as I was going through this, because you can do the Instagram connection, you can do the Spotify, but here's what I think these apps should do, and you let me know if you agree with this. Would it be more interesting if you could connect your Twitter profile to where you're seeing what they're posting?
Oh, on Twitter.
Yes, because that seems where there's opinions. There's pictures. It's like, here, I'm going to connect. If you're Instagram, you're just seeing pictures. You kind of get a little bit, but it doesn't give you insight to their mentality.
Maybe.
So it could be dangerous.
Maybe.
But I'm just wondering if that would be a more interesting.
I mean, my thoughts on that is it might be more interesting. I think they're the same. So like Twitter, right, it's more opinionated, I guess.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you want to figure that out in person? Like I'm not looking at these people's Instagrams. Like even if they're listed on the app, that's not where I go.
I will sometimes because
that's okay.
But the reason being is because you have a limited number of photos in the profile.
Oh, right.
And,
cool. Yeah, I get it.
And I might be a little pervy. I'm like, all right, well,
let's see what you got.
Exactly. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go over here and see if you have any other sexy photos.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're a dude.
But again, that's why again, you tell me, because that's the one thing I noticed with women on my end in profiles. They use it to kind of profile their Instagram. Not all of them, but most of them do, especially the ones that are
You mean
selling
promote
something.
their Instagram?
Exactly.
Okay.
Or maybe their OnlyFans page, because again,
Right.
this is what I get on my
They're
end.
trying to get followers. Yeah.
Right. But do you have that on your end with any of the apps? Or guys
bit.
hey, come follow me on my Instagram page. I'm not on here often, so follow me on my Instagram page.
So I have gotten that a few times, and it's where they're like, check me out. But usually they're actually trying to figure out if they want to go on a date with me. So they want to see my Instagram.
Okay. See, but that's the difference, because I don't think
Right.
the women are.
I have gotten a couple where they are promoting their Instagrams. But I've only gotten a couple because typically the looks of that type of person will not match with me. So I'm not joking.
I think you short-sighted. You short-sighted
No, it's
yourself.
because I'm like I'm not the fancy model type, and I'm totally good with that. But they're usually the fancy model type.
Fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough.
So
There's something else that they offer, but I don't want to get into that because it's going to open up a lot of stuff. But
right.
the patterns I saw as far as pictures go, in this regard on my end for women, car selfies, gym, exotic places, and again, water pics.
Water pics. People love water. Like by the beach or on a boat or...
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's something sexy about water if you're in it together.
Totally.
I mean, I was at the hotel last night bartending. I had to go out to the pool for something, and sure enough, there's a couple in the pool, and she's wrapped around him. They're just kind of floating there. I'm like, oh my God, please tell me that you're wearing clothes.
Well, I mean, whatever. You don't weigh as much in water, so you can
Sure, but
throw each other around,
No, I'm just saying it's like 5:00 in the afternoon, 5:30. You don't need to be having sex in the hotel pool. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so this was one of the things that I wrote down. I don't think I saved the profile, but one of the things, it was things that you liked. It's like good shoes and kind eyes.
Oh, something that she liked. Good shoes and kind eyes. This is also something I like about Hinge is there's a lot of options when you're setting up your profile. So these things they call prompts, there's like categories you can choose. So that's kind of interesting to see like what categories each person chooses. And it kind of tells you something about their personality.
100%. And we're definitely going to unpack that. There's the other thing they have, they post when it's new here.
Oh yeah, they do that. Yeah.
And to me, that just screams fresh meat. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. But those people are going to get a lot of likes right off the bat, I think, because everyone's like, oh, again, when you first log on to these apps, that's when they send you the quote unquote best people. But it is going to be like higher quality matches because they want you to like the app.
And the other thing is as well, which we haven't really discussed, but there's the fake profiles in order to promote. It's like, I think, and I don't know if we'll get to this one. Maybe we'll play around with it. I'm not quite sure. But Ashley Madison got sued for that because they had fake profiles to promote. And if you don't know what Ashley Madison is, by the way, Ashley Madison was the cheating app. It was the cheating website. If you were married people go to hook up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so they got sued because there were a bunch of fake profiles that they had. And I don't know if they exist anymore. But I know that my ex had a friend who found out that her husband, like she went on, it came up in the search, in the search history that he had been on Ashley Madison. I'm not sure if they exist anymore. I'd be interested. I remember seeing ads for Ashley Madison, as a matter of fact, like on TV and stuff like that. It's like you're promoting like infidelity.
I don't remember this
at all. This is 10 years ago, and I don't know if they exist anymore, but I'd have to go. It might be fun to play around with to kind of see what the profiles are and to see what they do.
Oh, yeah, I think we should definitely check that one out.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many more. The number of apps, like I got hit with, what was it? Silver linings.
there's-
What's the silver singles or something like that? So like dating over 50. Like all of a sudden, like as I'm doing Hinge again and I'm playing around doing some research,
There's a lot of apps coming out.
and then all of a sudden, but I'm getting hit with the ads. I'm like, hey,
Oh, yeah.
silver
Oh,
singles. I'm like, first of all,
They're
don't-
called smartphones for a reason.
don't age me, and don't age shame me. So, so we got the dog pet pics were another one. Formal attire. I noticed that formal attire for the younger profiles.
Okay.
They want to, which I get. I mean, who doesn't
Yeah.
want to, you want to promote your best self. So, but I don't see that so much on my age range, my
Right.
appropriate age range.
Right.
But the prompts that you mentioned, we got 2 truths and a lie, which is kind of fun.
It's interesting.
Well, the one that I don't know if I saved it, and it was interesting because she listed 2 things, and then the last thing was like, and I used to be a panda.
Wait. Oh. There are 2 truths that I used to
And the
be.
last one was like, okay. Now,
That's
normally
funny.
I'm like, well, that's obvious. You used to be a
that's
panda.
funny.
It is, but these days, that may not be the lie.
Oh.
Because in their mind, identity-wise, they might have.
Totally.
I'm a panda.
But then the other part of that is she's telling you 2 interesting facts about her, which is cool, and then thrown in the humor with "I used to be a panda," unless she's being serious, and then that's a different thing. But that's funny.
It was younger. She was a younger.
That's funny.
one. Skydiving pics.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of those on my end. Too,
Okay. All
on
right.
this
Yeah,
one.
there we go. So we got the 2 truth and a lie. This was another one that I found that came across, and I'm not sure. I'm dating me will look like.
Oh yeah, that prompt is weird.
It is weird because
Dating me would look like this, right?
and
Is that
well,
the-
you tell me what you got, because on mine it was like I'm kind of dressed up. It was women who were kind of dressed up. It was a selfie or
Okay.
and it was them in a dress or something like that. I'm like,
Usually for the guys, it's something funny. Like they usually try to do something cute or funny, like them shoveling nachos down their throat or something like that.
I can appreciate
or
that.
like something they like doing, like a picture of them in a golf cart. That's
I'm going to
what they
be
would do.
totally inappropriate, and I would say like, can you give me a position pic?
Oh, for dating me would look like this. Yeah,
All fours, yoga pose. I don't know.
I don't really like that
It's
prompt that
it's
much.
so
though.
inappropriate. I'm sorry. I'm going to get a lot of flack for that.
This, yeah,
You're showing it. That's all it is about. It's
I
all
got
about
some
sex
good
with you.
screenshots too.
Oh God. And again, at some point, and I don't know. Again, I don't know what the legalities are, but I would love to be able to start as we go through with this podcast. I would love to make it to where we start showing these. Maybe we'll blur out the face, but we'll actually show the profiles.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Look,
Not
maybe
yet,
we'll,
but soon.
Yeah, maybe we'll go that route, and we'll just roll the dice, take our chances, and until somebody says stop,
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
dating me will look like. It does help. It helps to go through. It helps to go through the profile while you're listening to the voice prompts, because that's the one thing it does. That allows you, and we'll get there in a little bit. There's voice prompts where you can record yourself, but it helps while you're playing that to start. Don't stay on that, because you can keep scrolling while that's playing.
Oh, okay.
And I really think that that's a kind of a cool thing. It's like where you're listening to this person talk about what.
Getting a real feel for their.
Yeah.
It's Hinge is good.
Yeah, it's a good one. I liked it.
And they really want you to do the voice prompts. Like mine doesn't have one, or my profile didn't have one, and it would pop up like a reminder, like, "Hey, put a voice prompt on here. Hey,
I
hey,
did.
do it."
I did.
You
I
did?
I'll play it. It's dumb. It's just terrible. The other one that they had was don't hate me. Oh wait. Oh, never mind. No, that's my voice prompt. I'm gonna play it.
Play your voice.
I'm gonna
prompt.
play it instead of reading it because I have it written down here.
Yeah, play it.
Hinge has more lifestyle pics and less trying to impress.
That's what I would agree with. People seem to present a more real version of themselves with this one. And I remember a while ago when I first started using it, my friend was like, how's it going? How do you like it? Because I was just using Bumble, and then I went into Hinge, and I was like, you know what? It's kind of rude, but I was like, you know what? They are more patient, and they are more ugly. She was like, okay. They're not trying to like portray themselves as some like, I don't know, beautiful model-esque. They're like, this is who I am. They weren't ugly, but it was...
And again, I mean, like, look, I'm not...
Real people. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to bash on anybody by any means. There's certain apps that I've found that are more... On my end, the women are a little bit more voluptuous.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I found that a lot on Facebook dating, and I noticed that a lot on the one that we discovered that I don't know how prominent it is. Delight, yes. And we'll get into that app later on down the road.
It's like real people.
Sure.
You know, and like, again, these dudes were not ugly. It was just on Bumble, I felt like they were more like model-esque. And this app, Hinge, is more like, it's just real people.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah. So they have the voice prompts, and so I did do that on mine. And I'm totally gonna go there. It's so terrible.
I can't wait.
Yeah, well, here we go. Don't hate me if I give a lot of attention to your four-legged fur ball. What can I say? I'm a sucker.
That's a good one.
That's all right. You know, it's just like, it's kind of cheesy and whatnot.
Well, it's also to hear the person's voice, which is, I don't know. Yeah. I don't really care. I guess if their voice annoyed me that much, that would be a no, but it's a voice. I don't know.
Did you, so I took it, I've got six picks. I did actually have one I actually used one from a podcast, the other podcast.
Oh, cool.
I used a little clip from that. And then did you do written prompts? Did you do that?
I did written. Let me pull mine up. Yeah, I did 6 picks as well. So they give you 6 pictures. It's only 6, right?
Yeah.
Which
is not a bad thing. I mean,
like
it's more than enough.
Yeah, it's plenty. Right. So I did 3 written prompts.
Likewise. Okay. What did you go with? I'm just curious about your choices.
The way to win me over is blah blah. If loving this is
No.
Oh, you want me to say?
Yes, I just.
All right.
Not only do I want you to say it, our listeners want you to say it.
Sure. Okay. So the way to win me over is to do what you want and let the chips fall where they may. ... All right. I'm serious.
No, of course. It's a prompt. You should be serious. Don't put anything fake.
If loving this is wrong, I don't want to be right when the volume on the TV is an even number.
That's awesome.
Because it is. That's, we all have some form of OCD. So this is...
Oh, I got to figure out what mine is.
Yep. And then my favorite line from a movie. This was more of a joke because I wasn't being serious on...
I was on mine, but keep going.
Yeah. I wasn't being serious on... I was just exploring the app. I'm a really good skater, little kid. Watch. You might learn something. Do you know what that's from?
No, I don't.
It's from Just Friends.
That's a fun movie. I like that. Wait, that's not the Justin Timberlake one, is it?
No. It's with Ryan Reynolds and Amy Smart.
Yes.
And
I enjoyed it.
That part where he like yells at the kid gets me every time. So I do really like, it's not my favorite line from a movie, but also this is to tell, I don't know. I have a sense of humor. This is my sense of humor. So there it is.
100%. So I went with my best dad joke.
Oh, yes.
Which is, what do you call a hand grenade that goes off in a French bathroom?
What?
Linoleum blown apart.
Oh my God. It's a dad joke.
It is.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
It's your sense of humor.
My best celebrity impression, which is, I don't do, my impressions are based on somebody else's impression. So my Sean Connery is Daryl Hammond.
Okay.
My Christopher Walken is from this stupid animated show called Doralius and Associates.
Okay.
And the only one that's legit, and I'm not even quite sure if I can do it anymore, is Christian Slater.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what'd you write?
Exactly that. My best celebrity impression are based on other celebrities' impressions and said celebrity, i.e. Daryl Hammond, Sean Connery.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then I went with my favorite line from the movie.
What? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What is it?
Oh, you know what? I don't know if this is the actual. It's from the same movie. I went with this one. This one right here. This was my dream, my wish, and it didn't come true. So I'm taking it back. I'm taking them all back.
What's that from? I think I've seen it.
Goonies.
Oh, nice.
But that's not really
Yes.
my favorite quote from that movie. My favorite quote from that movie is our parents, they want the best thing for us because up there it's their time. It's their time up there. But down here it's our time. It's our time down here. But that's all over the second we write up Troy's bucket.
That's too long for the prompt.
I think that's why I think that it had a limit.
Yeah.
And that's what I went with. So, yeah. Anyways, so they
Nice.
did that. So that was the whole thing. As far as that aspect goes. Yeah.
I don't know. The pictures on here, the guys, it's similar to Tinder. Like you do get the fish pictures and the sports
Sure.
pictures
Right.
and the selfies in the car and all that's about the same. But I saw less filters on this one.
Yeah. Likewise.
Yeah. So it's more real. And it is like, for me, when I'm looking at these profiles, it is the prompts that tell me something about this person. So I am looking at which prompts did they choose because it does tell you something about their personality.
Yeah. And it's interesting because this one even says, they listed as my virtues.
That was the prompt. Virtues?
No. It's the categories. It's the categories.
Yeah.
My virtues: work, job title, school, education level, religious beliefs, hometown, politics. The new one, spoken language.
Spoken language
Is new. Dating intentions. Yeah. Relationship type. That's a new one. And then my vitals.
What's
Name,
vitals?
gender, pronouns, sexuality, age, height, location, ethnicity, children, family plans, COVID vaccine, pets, which is new,
Right.
zodiac sign, which is also new, and my vices.
Oh, yeah. That's a good
Drinking,
one.
smoking, marijuana, drugs.
Do you list your vices on your profile? I always list them a little bit.
Yeah, there's certain things that people don't need to know.
But
I got the drinking, the smoking, the marijuana, the drugs. I'm like the fact. And the thing is, they say yes, sometimes no, prefer not to say.
Right.
Personally, I think that's inappropriate. I don't think that's what they should be asking. It's like
About the vices?
drugs, yes, no, which ones?
Oh, yeah. That's right. But I think that's pretty common. Like,
No,
you
of
kind
course,
of
but I
give
think
a clue of what you enjoy doing, but you're not going to.
It would be much more fun if they asked, if it gave you the option to list what you're.
you to list your vices.
Yeah.
Then people would just lie too,
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah. It's the one that really kind of got me. What was the one that just kind of stood out with me? It wasn't the COVID vaccine. It was pronouns, gender. I don't know. Sexuality, they give you some options: straight, gay, lesbian, bisexual, allosexual.
What's allosexual?
That's a great question. We're gonna have to look that up.
Google it.
Androsexual,
Wow.
asexual, of course. We get that, and then autosexual. I'm not quite sure what. Oh God, please don't tell me that's with cars, because there's certain people that are into that. I don't know if you've ever seen that video. There's a guy who's in love with his car. It's there. You can Google it.
On a profile?
No, it's like it was on some show, like a guy who was in love with his car, and he's like caressing it, and like I don't know.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know if he put it in the tailpipe or whatever. Yeah. So it's an interesting apps in that regard, as far as these
This just says allosexual is those that experience sexual attraction to others. So it's just all inclusive, I think.
Yeah. Well.
So I don't know the difference, but I think we should go into that later.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. So, can we get into? Should we get into these voice prompts, or should we talk about some other things? Because there were some interesting voice prompts. I mean, but here's the thing. I was like,
you got voice prompts. I got screenshots.
Yeah. The interesting thing as well, and that I went into today, when I was playing around with these age things. And there's a brilliant voice prompt. It was so freaking awesome. We'll get into that. But and I don't know, this is kind of sad. But as I got into, so the other thing that Hinge does is like you got the subscriber aspect. If you subscribers, they say that subscribers go on twice as many dates. And the benefits you get to skip the line, you get recommended sooner, I guess. Priority likes, your likes stay towards the top of their list. Send unlimited likes, see everyone who likes you, and more. I have to.
Right,
it's like $19.99.
There's an option. I mean, I can see like who likes me, but I can only see one at a time.
That was interesting. Like it teases you.
So there's one that likes me, but there's others, and I can see their name, but I can't see their profiles till I decide with this one what I'm going to do with it.
Interesting, because the one thing it gave me a few, it gave me like 6 or 7, and then all of a sudden everybody below that got blurred.
Right.
But it's interesting.
You could do 6 or 7.
I got 6 or 7 that I could see. So that was kind of interesting. But one of the things, this was an interesting one, and it goes back to what we talked about in Tinder, as far as certain things go. So when you get to the younger thing, it's all about sugar daddies. And so one of the ones is all I ask is that you have a heavy set dad bod, must be over 50, have gray or no hair, must be into sports and beer, must be masculine, must like wearing shorts, be highly dominated, be dominant, be highly opinionated, be dominant, and have traditional old school values.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting.
Specific.
Yeah.
I'll give her that. I know exactly who she's looking for. But
you pretty and I think that's how it is with the younger accounts. Like they know exactly what they want.
Yeah.
Which is worth splurging on. Trips to Bahama with me. Trip to Bahamas with me and my pet bunny.
Just me or just me and the pet bunny? These are the first two options.
And then I have a more refined answer. Message me then.
Oh, the third option is message me and you'll find out.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
She wants to go to the Bahamas for sure. Can you take a bunny on an airplane?
I think you can take anything on an airplane these days. There's people. There's a horse on the plane.
Bunnies are not that nice either. Yeah. They bite.
To me, relaxation is getting spoiled. Retail therapy is a must. Getting pampered. Beach or city views.
But I mean, she's gonna match with the dude that wants to do that.
No,
some dudes want to do that.
No, I call bullshit on this one.
Okay.
Never have I ever. You ready?
I'm ready.
Had my first kiss.
What?
Yep. She's 20.
She's 20.
But relationship status, non-monogamy, figuring out my relationship type.
Oh yeah. Then why would you?
Never had your first kiss. Bullshit. I don't buy it. I do not buy it.
It is bullshit, but if she's non-monogamous, there might be some people that have a fantasy about that. So that she's going to match with fantasy man.
So I'm going to use this to get into voice prompts.
Okay.
And it's not the one that we've already discussed that I sent you.
Do you want to hear some of mine?
I do, please.
All right, because I took a couple screenshots, but these were my favorite. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I don't know. The dudes on here are not that. There wasn't.
What age
that
range
many.
are you playing with? What are we looking at in here?
So I forgot to pick that, and I just looked. It said 31 to 42, which is not.
That's what your setting is.
Well, and
which is great.
I would change
fine.
it, but I just forgot.
Again, like, look, these could be 4-hour episodes if we wanted to, but we'll break these down as we go back. We'll go back into playing with certain age ranges and seeing what they go with and what the patterns are. But
that's my age is 37, so that makes sense. 31 to 42, right? But I would change it. Anyways, unusual skills. This dude goes too many to list, too many to list, too many to list, too many to list. But he spelled. Oh no, he spelled the twos right. I thought he got him confused.
I
was like, yeah, he did good. But he just wrote too many to list over and over. This one, I'm weirdly attracted to you. That's all. But
oh my god,
yeah, it's good. But my favorite one though was this guy that was I didn't even take a screenshot of it. Oh, maybe I sent it to you. But it was like
yes you did.
This dude was like, he was writing paragraphs. No, his voice prompt was he does not want anyone that's religious, and that includes sports teams, because that's a religious activity. If you go to the games all the time and watch the sports all the time, he doesn't do that. And I'm listening to this voice prompt and I'm scrolling down, and then one of his other prompts was, and also I'm a regular at a BDSM club. I was just like, of course you are.
Oh my gosh. I don't think you did send it to me. Unfortunately, because I would have listened. I would have loved to listen to it.
Yeah, I'll figure that out.
Yeah,
but
it's brilliant. So the one that I found, voice prompt wise, and it's so good, and I didn't want to tell you about it because you had to experience it for yourself, and I don't think anybody's going to get it right off the bat. So this is a voice prompt, and her voice prompt is my simple pleasure. Was her voice prompt. Okay. And, oh God, please don't tell me it was just a screenshot.
Looks like it was.
Oh no. Oh,
that's okay.
God,
Play
no.
another one.
No, it can't be, because I had to have recorded it. It was so freaking brilliant. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Oh,
I know you have another one. It's okay, James. We're going to move on. Move on to the next one.
Go ahead. Okay, so
while
I try to figure that...
This is how you date, by the way. You go, oh, okay, move on.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Here's one. This is my love language. This is one that came up.
Oh, God, that question.
I've learned recently that my love language is receiving gifts. I believe it's because I've been through a lot, so when a man takes the time and the thought to give me something or bring me something with me just being me, and showing that they appreciate me, it means a lot, and it really shows their character, I believe. So, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this is for somebody
who's
been
honest.
No, it 100%. It 100%.
But you're telling everyone that you're damaged in that voice prompt. You're telling everyone you're damaged. Who do you think is going to like you?
Well, it's not only that, but she was either 20 or 24,
right?
And you've been through a lot. You haven't been through anything yet. I'm just not sure.
Everyone's been through something, and that's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying people are not going to like it. It's the type of guy that's going to go for somebody that's saying they're damaged is someone who's going to do more damage, in my opinion.
Sure, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, but at least she wants somebody to take care of her. That's good. But on your profile, watch it.
I think that goes with a lot. I think and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think that there's anything wrong with, I guess, wanting to be taken care of. Oh my God, I'm so upset because this was so brilliant. So it said it was my simple pleasures. And I pressed it, and I'm like,
oh, it's a dildo.
It was her vibrator.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I'm like, that's right
funny.
There is brilliant. That is brilliance in its full glory.
That's amazing.
I'm like, that is, and
she's got a good sense of humor.
Because I'm listening to it, I'm like, it's just static.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh no. Oh my God. Oh, that's just, yeah. But then, the one that I sent you, which was kind of just like, I can't call it brilliant. It was just kind of like, I'm not sure if I can take you seriously. And we're just, and it, as I told you, it reminded me of something. And this was it. It was like, the prompt was a typical Sunday.
A typical Sunday.
Yeah. So.
An ideal Sunday for me would be waking up with my love in snuggle mode. I make us a healthy breakfast, and then maybe we go for a joyride up the coast. I love adventure, so a hike, a picnic blanket on the beach. I bring a boombox and some great tunes. Maybe we swim in the ocean, then head to LA for a concert at the Hollywood Bowl. That is an ideal day for me.
Okay, now here's the thing.
Jam-packed.
Here's the thing, and I'm not because it's great.
These are great activities.
You answered the question,
right?
And I have no qualms about it. It's great. I get it. Cool, and I'm sure that hopefully she finds a guy that will deliver that. But my response to you was as soon as I heard that, all I could do was go back to Mallrats. It's like, first I'll take you shopping at the stores you want to shop at. Then we'll do a little lunch, probably at the Cheese House, followed by some golfing. And then at night, we'd take in an opera, probably Deflator Mouse. And then to top it all off, we'd take a drive to a secluded beach where I could pop on the radio and we could slow dance till the sun came up. I mean, that's suit number 3 right there. I mean, yeah, anyways.
That Sunday would exhaust me, but all of those activities are amazing. At least she's saying, like, I want to do stuff. Like, that's cool. But it's like...
again, it was just like,
Perfect.
it was almost, it sounded dead on just from Mallrats. So,
yeah.
I mean, Hinge has got some great stuff. That's what the one thing I
really like.
I gotta say, I recommend it. I don't know what your guys' success is. I mean, do you find that Hinge has been successful for you, or is it something that you're still like trying to figure out? Maybe you didn't. Maybe you had bad experiences. You have good experience, bad experiences. What are your prompts? I want to hear what we want to hear what your profiles look like in that regard. So going through, we talked about the most compatible things. So there's, as soon as I logged on, the first thing that it came, because I hadn't had it for a long, I had to like re-log on.
Right.
And it says, most compatible. And it goes through the description of what most compatible is. And it says, James and Amanda, based on your Hinge activity, we believe you have the best chance for a great first date.
Right. That's what comes up when the algorithm matches you with people. Yeah.
And then you go to the next page and it says, the proof. We found that on average, you're 8 times more likely to go on a date with your most compatible than you are with any other Hinge member. All right, sure, I guess.
That's fine. It just didn't work for me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then it says, still curious? Learn more by checking out our most compatible FAQ.
Oh, yeah. Also, there's a lot of information you can read. Like they do have FAQ lists. Like, let me find it.
Yeah. And so it's like, and then it goes, what is most compatible? They talk about it. The most compatible algorithm aims to pair people who we think are most likely to like each other.
Right.
We try to send you one or more most compatible recommendations per day. If available, it will be the first recommendation you will see in the main compatible feed. On Hinge, we always do our best to support people we think are a good fit for you. Our recommendations are based on mutual deal breakers and recent activity. Most compatible recommendations use the award-winning Gale Shapley algorithm that tries to pick the single pair most likely to match. Have more questions? Submit a request.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like if you look under your profile, there's an option to read about what works. So they're kind of talking about the photos and the prompts, the matching, conversation. Some of these things I think are common sense, but it's just nice that they have it there.
Sure.
I don't know. It is, and that's what is the Hinge's little, they describe themselves as the app that wants to get you off the app.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So they are, what is that called? Not the motto.
Their slogan?
Yeah, their slogan is the app that gets you off the app.
Yeah.
So It's cool. I like Hinge.
Yeah.
And I think most of my friends, this is their preferred app, which is why they voted for it.
And if you haven't already, make sure you go to our Instagram page and follow, and also be sure to like and subscribe on this podcast. So if you haven't already, and we thank you for listening. On that note, so with Amanda, it says the hallmark of a good relationship, and again, she's I don't know. I mean,
yeah. Would you pick your most compatible?
Well,
That's why there's a question mark.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, we've talked. I have a type. I do have a type.
Most people do. Yeah.
And that's what I don't think the algorithm is going to pick up. They don't know what your type is as far as physicality.
Right. Physical attraction.
So we can have all the greatest things in common, but I just may not be attracted to you.
So this is my other thing is some of these things that we have in common might not be something that I value to have in common. That's why I say most compatible question mark, because I'm like, I mean, I guess some prompts, it depends if it's humorous or philosophical, like some of that. I don't want to date myself.
I date myself every day.
It's like,
that's a masturbation joke.
And I don't know that the things they would say make me and this person compatible are things that I would look for a relationship. I mean, that's the question mark. Yeah. So,
I mean, don't you want to be challenged? You don't want to be on the same page as everybody. I mean, do you want somebody who's going to challenge you, who's going to introduce you to new things?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I'm learning this still, but I had a therapist tell me that you want your values to line up, right? Like what you value, which I agree with.
Sure.
But even that is not black and white. And it's, for me, I think you're looking for a partner, right? So you want it to be a team. So I'm looking, the team, not everyone has the same job. So you want someone a little bit different.
Can you unpack that? I mean, can you expand on that?
So
I'm curious.
I know. I'm trying to find the words. It's like, I don't want someone that's the things that I am good at. I don't need them to be good at. So, let's say I like to read books about like philosophy, right? Just because they also like to read books about philosophy doesn't mean that we're a match. It's more about like,
balance.
It is about balance, and it is about like, I'm trying to think.
Is it fair to go? I mean, as I try to help you with this, is it more of like a yin yang kind of thing? It's like opposites. Does it go back to the simplicity of opposites attract?
So I mean, that's a thing as well. But I've like total opposites. I've always found as that doesn't always work either.
No, 100%.
So in my experience, it's too much the other way. So I guess the yin yang, you could kind of, it's like in a circle. There's also a communication factor, which is so like cliche, but that is huge. So,
when you so what does communication look like? And I don't know the answer to this. I just want to kind of delve into
yeah,
this.
That's a good question.
You know what I mean? Because it's like this isn't true. I wouldn't. I used to say this about my ex. I'm like, for a communications major, you're terrible at communicating, which is not what communications is about. But that's like, because she, it's one of those things like you. I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but in a way, there's that kind of adage or that myth that women expect you to read their minds.
Right.
You should know.
Right.
I shouldn't have to tell you. You should already know.
So I think communication is about a lot of different things, but one of it is accountability. Like, so I'm going to communicate to you what I feel like is important for me to say to you. the other part of communication is actually being able to understand each other. And that's something that people don't talk about a lot. Like, I can be talking to a person and they're communicating in their way, and I might not totally understand what they're saying. Like, there's a thing of like, it's like that's maybe a value. It's like you're on the same page communication wise. Like, you understand what the other person is saying. Yeah.
Well, that's where and I'm sure we've all said it or we've heard it. You're not listening.
Right.
And it's not that we're not listening. I'm not understanding what you're saying.
Right.
And so I had a friend who put it this way. It's like, what are you saying? Because this is what I'm hearing.
Right.
And I think that that's a huge part of communication is like, maybe I'm off. And I think there's a sense of humility in that, and being able to say like, maybe I don't understand what you're saying. Maybe
right.
It's not that I'm hearing you, but maybe it's not that I'm not listening. I'm not.
I don't understand what you mean.
Yeah. So I think it's being able to admit to that and be just like, I'm wrong. Not that I'm wrong. Jordan Peterson talks about this a little bit when he talks about relationships and communication. He says that you have to bring it up, because if you don't talk about it, even early on, the smallest things, because if you don't talk about them, it festers, and then you build up this resentment, and then it explodes, and then there's kind of, I don't want to say there's no turning back. I don't know exactly how he phrases it, but that's kind of what he goes into in that regard, that he says, talk about it early on. The littlest things that bother you, because they build up, and then you're just going to, and I think that's was probably one of the reasons why my marriage didn't work out, because I think that we just
let the little things build up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it is like it's a lot of little stuff. I know that's.
Yeah. I mean, it seems simple, and the truth is it is simple. You just have to.
Well, yeah. Like, I'll just say the guy I'm with, at the beginning, I was like, I do this thing and it can be annoying, and I do this thing and it can be annoying, and he was kind of doing the same thing.
Okay, hang on. We got to get beyond these kind of like vagaries. You can't say this little thing and this little. You got to be specific. I want to know now.
No, I don't have to be specific. Basically, it was stuff like. I don't wake up easily. When I sleep, I am a dead person. So I set like 4 or 5 alarms, and they're going to go off every 9 minutes and more. So it'd be something like that. I'd be like, this can be really annoying. I just want you to know.
But you're upfront about it, right?
Yeah, because it's like, that's communication. Like, it's like, I'm going to say this. And then he could understand it too. So that it's like, I don't know, that's like a huge part of communication is actually being able to understand each other. And it's okay if you don't understand somebody. Maybe you're not meant to be together then. Like, you need to be able to talk to each other. Or I don't know. There's also like nonverbal communication that is like a huge bonus. Like,
is it a bonus or is it a curse?
I think it's a bonus. I've met people that it's like you communicate by looking at each other. That's very cool and makes you feel, it's very like bonding. It's a very bonding experience.
I have a tendency in this, we'll call it a flaw. Like, I have a tendency to shut down.
Oh, totally.
If something's bothering me, and I'll come back around when I'm ready.
Right.
And it's more from I'm dissecting it. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm still pissed off, don't get me wrong.
Right.
And I'll come around, but it has to be on my terms when I kind of figure out, and sometimes I don't realize what I'm upset about, and I have to come to that conclusion on my own. So
you need to take a beat, right? Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's mature. It's like You're having a feeling, you don't know why, you got to go figure it out before you bring it to the other person. It doesn't always happen like that.
Sure.
But I don't know. That's
well, I think it's good. I think it's a healthy thing, and I hope that all of you figure that out and learn how to communicate.
figure it out.
Learn how to communicate,
Right.
with each other. And maybe you look. I don't know. Maybe you guys have a secret that you figured out that this is what works for you, and you can sit there and this is how I communicate with my spouse or my significant other, and share that with us. Again, that's the purpose of this podcast. It's unpacking these things and
Yeah.
it's dating in the 21st century, and it's not even about finding somebody to match with. It's even once you do.
Right.
Because I guarantee, maybe some of our listeners they're not on the apps. They have no idea what the apps are. But
Maybe.
because if you look at, maybe Ashley Madison.
They might not be on them, but maybe they know what they are.
No, sure, but they don't. They've never been on, and they're not looking, so they don't know what these patterns are or anything like that. And if I'm not mistaken, we would go back a little bit. We were talking about like algorithms or certain things. Like I think eHarmony asks you questions, and they'll kind of ask the same question, but they'll tweak it a little bit to see if those answers still match.
Right.
And then that way
Right.
there's a very interesting algorithm in that regard. And then looking at this profile as we're chatting it up, fact about me that surprises people. I worked in the circus. Not me, mind you.
This is a profile.
Yeah, this is a profile. I want someone who, there's another prompt that they go through.
Oh, yeah, that one would turn me off big time.
Really?
Oh, I want someone who, no.
Well, this one's not terrible. I want someone who loves themselves as much as I would want to love them.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's not terrible. It's not terrible in that regard. So, oh, and here was
I'm judgmental.
Yeah,
It's
well,
fine.
who's not?
But, yeah.
Hinge X.
Hinge X,
Yeah.
right? So there's Hinge Plus and Hinge X.
Hinge X.
Those are the 2 tiers.
Enhance your recommendations.
Enhance.
Yeah. Which Hinge X, the most access to delete us faster. Again, going back to their slogan. Hinge X gives you enhanced recommendations. You skip the line, priority likes, send unlimited likes, see everyone who likes you, sort through likes easily, fine-tune your preferences, more ways to discover. Browse by location, activity, and more. Starting at $24.99.
Oh, that's for $24.99 is Hinge X, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
$14.99 is Hinge Plus. And that, wait, you just, no?
No,
Hinge Plus
no, it
is
is.
$14.99, and in my opinion, that's the one they promote more, and you get just as much with that. So that's the more popular tier. I think you get quite a bit with Hinge Plus.
Yeah. They also offer video prompts.
Oh
So,
you can take a video.
Yeah, and I found that when you get to the younger profiles, lots of boomerangs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that they kind of you'd expect. I know the best spot in town for is a prompt.
Oh yeah, that's a good prompt.
Yeah, guacamole guacamole and margaritas. Which is kind of good. Yeah, and you get they go through. You get the age, you get your height, you get your location, religion. You don't have to choose these, but it's all the ones that you go. They go
These are
through.
possibilities. Yeah.
Again, up high, locations where you're up on the mountaintop, or sky rises and things like that. It's one of those things they do.
Right.
The hallmark of a good relationship is.
That's actually, I like that prompt.
Yeah, it's not bad. Chemistry, fun, aligned values, vision, emotional, physical availability, and love.
Right. And see this, okay, I like this prompt, but for me, like, this is what I'm going to figure out in person. So I'm not going to give that information on my profile because it's like, that's what I'm looking for, but I don't have to tell you what I'm looking for. I'm going to figure that out.
Sure. The one thing that I also that Hinge does, which I think is really cool, so they give you a picture, you post your picture, but then they gives you a little icon to hit, and it tells you the background of that picture.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I hit it, and there's a heart. Having friends over to share with, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, you can be very specific on Hinge.
Yeah, have children, don't want children. It gives you the both of those. I think I got some likes. Oh, that was the other thing that they did as well. They did this thing where you have who's been on recently, and that's the default. Recent.
Oh, yeah.
Then there's your type, last active, and then there's one other one. Oh, new here. Oh, no, nearby, and I think new here.
Yeah.
Or something like that, where you can kind of, but you have to go through the bonus one.
Yeah.
Which is, and then you can boost your profile for more views. 1 boost, $9.99. 3 boost, $26.99 or $8.99 each. And then 5 boosts for $39.99. And they save 20%. Each one costs you $7.99 each.
Right. Those are, boosts is like put you at the top of the list for your profile without subscribing. So I'm sure with the subscription you get some boosts with it. But I don't know. It's I think this is a fan favorite. Like, people like this app.
And again, add your Instagram, of course, as they always, and this was unbrowsing, unlock better browsing, here's an interesting one as well. Green flags I look for.
Oh,
was an interesting prompt. Messages first, suggest a date, has gone to therapy. EQ, sexy, curious, truth teller, thoughtful, intuitive, at peace, positive.
Positive.
And again, animal pics, there's always a camel, elephant.
Yeah, and that goes to therapy thing. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm going to figure out real quick whether you go to therapy. There's also a lot of people that go to therapy to show that they go to therapy, but they're not actually working on anything. So that's like, I don't know. I get it. I'm going to figure out when I meet the person if they are willing to go to therapy or not. Or are they working on themselves? I think that's that's like the therapy questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
So then, they go through their breakdowns. You got the about me's, that you can use. I go crazy for. The way to win me over is dating me is like my pleasure, my simple pleasures, a life goal of mine. A random fact I love is typical Sunday, my most irrational fear. Do you have a fear?
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think sharks are gross. So I
Not
can't
scary,
look
they're just
at them.
gross.
They're just, they are scary, but they're gross. I don't think that's an irrational fear. What would that be?
Yeah, I'm curious. What's your irrational fear, folks? Leave a comment down below. I want to hear all about that. My most irrational fear, I'm convinced that unusual life skills, too many to list.
Too many to list.
Why would you choose that as your prompt and then post?
And then he put some flags on, so I don't even know what that. But he's from some other country, which is fine. I have no issues with that. I just don't understand why the flags go with too many to list. Yeah.
My greatest strength. I recently discovered that, and this year I really want to. And then there's self-care. My therapist would say, I blank. My cry in the car song is?
My cry in the car song.
Do you have one? Do you have a cry in the car song?
I have a cry movie.
Oh, I think, okay, which is what?
I always, if I need to cry, and I always watch Pearl Harbor. Always watch that
Really?
movie.
That's the one that makes...
cry at that movie.
Okay.
It's so corny, but I do...
Interesting.
Without fail every time.
Interesting. My cry movie is there's, I think I have two. And they're, the funny thing is they're both Robin Williams movies.
They're what movies?
Robin Williams movies.
Oh,
Robin Williams movies.
Yeah.
Dead Poets Society.
For sure.
Right? Soon as he stands up on that desk. Oh, there they go, the waterworks. And then
Patch Adams?
Good Will Hunting.
Oh, good.
Here's a fun fact. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I was in Patch Adams.
You were in Patch Adams?
Yeah.
Really?
I was background, but I'm right behind
awesome.
Robin Williams. Yeah, I'm right behind Robin Williams. And they're like, they're diagnosing the lady and she's got diabetes. And then Robin Williams like, what's her name? And we all turn around and look at him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was my very first like professional like feature film acting gig.
Do you get any girls on these apps that like hit on you with pickup lines? That might be a difference.
No.
So
but I want to hear this.
Yes.
I want to hear these pickup lines, and then I'm going to tell you the best pickup line I've ever heard.
Yeah, this one is good. Right, so they can comment on your pictures, which is a cool aspect of Hinge, but this one is... If you were a transformer, you'd be Optimus Fine. I loved it. It's clever,
my
though.
God.
I'm like, that's funny. Like that, you know.
There was a stand-up that I was seeing. I don't remember who it was. It was a brilliant... He's like... The pickup line I was like, I'm going to have sex with you tonight whether you're there or not.
That's so good.
And then it's like, oh my God, if you ever ran into them again, later it's like, why don't you learn how to do that? I'm going to have sex with you tonight whether you're there or not. I just thought I'd extend the offer.
I love pickup lines. I love being hit on. Like, that was... in high school, the best one I ever heard was, there's a grocery store called Hy-Vee, or there used to be. He'd be like, girl, you're looking fresher than a Hy-Vee salad bar. And I'd be like, is that a compliment? Because that's salad bar. But yeah, dudes, do the pickup lines. We like it. I like it.
I don't think... Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just not the pickup line guy where I get them. I don't get... I've never got it. I think it's a guy thing. I think guys do it with girls.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think that women really...
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there a female pickup line?
I mean, I'll be like, you're hot. Seriously. Hey, I think you're hot. That's my pickup line.
So
it's not clever.
My cry in the car. It's not a cry in the car song. And my ex used to... She used to kind of rag on me about this. She was just like,
you're crying the car song?
No, it's not a cry in the car song. It's a cry song. I mean, I just bawl, and it's you know, Puff the Magic Dragon.
Puff the Magic Dragon? I don't know if I've ever heard that song.
Yeah, Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I lose it.
Oh, that's good.
I lose it. Yeah, and yeah, it's like it's interesting, and I'm curious about this as well. Women say they want a sensitive guy who shows their emotions. Mm-hmm. And I think when they find someone who does, I don't think they respect them. I think they lose respect for them, especially if it's frequent.
So I think what they actually want is somebody that has control over their emotions. So they'll feel emotions, but they know what to do with them. That's...
What does that mean? I'm not quite sure I understand that.
It's basically like you have an emotion and you can recognize it, and then you decide what to do with it. So you have control over it. It doesn't mean you can't cry or get angry or feel sad or feel happy. Like those things can happen, but you know what to do with them. So like if I saw a guy cry, I don't think I would lose respect for them. But if they're crying uncontrollably and they don't know what to do with that emotion, then yes.
I think that with this particular ratio, I think it was like, you're too sensitive, I think is what I got, or something to that extent.
Too sensitive.
I guess, yeah. So it's been a long time, so I can't remember.
Most guys are really sensitive, actually.
Yeah.
They are. They're just as sensitive as we are.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know.
When I need advice, I go to blank. Therapy recently taught me a lot of therapy stuff on the self-care, which makes sense. I get myself out of a funk by. I feel most supported when. I wind down by. I hype myself up by. My self-care routine is, a boundary of mine is, boundaries not bad, you know.
Yeah, but I don't want to tell someone my boundaries. I want to do them. And these are all prompts. Like this is cool and all. It's just...
Sure.
It's more effective to do the boundary than it is to talk about what the boundary is.
Right, sure, exactly. My friends ask me for advice about, to me, relaxation is. My last journal entry was about, I think you should just can't keep your mouth shut about that.
My last journal entry, right.
The last time I cried happy tears was.
That's kind of cute.
Yeah. And then let's chat about.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, I'm going to do chat. I'm not going to tell you what you find out.
Sure. Yeah. Do you agree or disagree that teach me something about, I'll pick the topic if you start the conversation.
Right.
Try to guess this about me.
That's a weird one.
Yeah.
Try to guess this about me?
Yeah. Change my mind about. Let's make sure we're on the same page about. Let's debate this topic. The one thing I'd love to know about you is blank. You should. This sounds like Match Game. Match Game 76.
What's Match Game 76?
I'm dating myself again. It's a game show that was on. Wink Martin. No, it wasn't Wink Martindale. It was Gene Hayburn. All right. Again, dating myself. You should leave a comment if give me travel tips for I bet you can't.
Right.
I bet you can't. What?
Bet you can't.
You tell me what.
Bet you can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. What is? Oh no, that's from that book, The Stinky Cheese Man.
No, it's from the Gingerbread Man.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I say it all the time.
Or the other one is from Dr. Phil's like, catch me outside.
Dr. Phil.
Catch me outside. She's like worth $1 million. The Catch Me Outside girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, well, you know. Then we've got Getting Personal, Date Vibes, My Type, LGBTQ, Story Time, and Voice First. So those are the things.
You get the gist.
Yeah. So I think that we've already said it. It's just going back to what we've already said is that it gives you a lot of options. I think it's a great app, and I think it probably gives you a lot more success than you'd think, than you'd expect. So
Agreed.
yeah. So that's the whole thing. Oh, that is the key to my heart is good shoes and kind eyes. That's what that was about.
It's interesting.
That's where that came from. So anyways, that's Hinge, guys. We'll probably do another poll, I would imagine, to see what app.
What the next one, but I don't think the next episode will be on an app.
No, I think we unpacked a lot of stuff here. I think there's a lot of things that we have to discuss. I mean, communication was a huge one. Again,
we could do a whole episode on communication.
Yeah, we could. So, as we've already said, if you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, share this channel with a friend. As I had that on you that whole time while I said that.
That's okay.
Share this video with a friend. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, be sure to leave a 5-star review and subscribe to the channel. I'm serious, guys. Share this channel. It's a lot of fun, and leave those comments. And if you haven't already, email us your stories. Could be good stories, could be bad stories.
Horror stories.
Where's
mostcompatiblepodcast@gmail.com. And thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We appreciate the support. And as always, keep swiping.
Keep swiping. Or Xing. Or hearting.